Weather on Action News Now. So let's go to meteorologist Brian Ramsey, who's watching our forecast this morning. Brian, so much to talk about.
Yeah, there really is. You know, right now I have a live look out of Tuscan Butte camera from alertwildfire.org. You can see the red bank fire is still burning, especially on that terrain, but I will be giving you updates on those fire conditions throughout your morning. As for the weather conditions right now, temperatures not too bad, 61 right now in Redding, 66 in Chico, also 61 degrees in Willows and in Oroville. So a little chilly out there this morning. As you walk out, you might even have a little shiver, but don't worry, it will be warming up later today. However, in those mountain locations, you might need a light jacket because it is pretty cool out there. As for your Futurecast, once we hit your lunch hour right around noon, notice nowhere in the valley is in the 90s. Yesterday by noon, we were in the 90s. So we are cooling off today, and as we go to your afternoon hours, look at those high temperatures, only hitting the mid 90s in the North Valley rather than the upper 90s, which we have been seeing, and the Central Valley only hitting the low 90s. So we'll be a few degrees cooler today than we were yesterday for our high temperatures. And those mountain locations will also only be hitting, for most of you, the low 80s. As for your overnight hours, by about 10 o'clock, we'll be dropping just below 80 degrees in the mid to upper 70s. And as for your overnight hours going into tomorrow morning, your overnight low temperature looking pretty similar to what we're seeing this morning, especially even in those mountain locations. But as we go to tomorrow afternoon, look at those high temperatures. All of them are in the 80s. This is not lunch. This is 5 p.m. This is our high temperatures for tomorrow. So very cooler, a lot cooler tomorrow than we are today. And I'll show you why right now. We have this low pressure system moving towards us. It will sit directly over us over the weekend, which will cool us into those 80-degree temperatures. But once we go to Monday, it stays over us all the way through Tuesday. So we can expect high temperatures to drop as low as the low 80s. So that's fantastic to see, especially for this time of year. But a high pressure system does move into our area starting on Wednesday, and that will last through Friday. So we will begin to see a warm up in the middle of next week. As for your 7-day forecast in Chico, a high of 93 degrees for today, dropping all the way into the mid 80s on Saturday and staying there through your weekend. So a fantastic weekend if you want to go hiking or go boating. It's wonderful weather for that. And as you begin your work week, it's fantastic weather, 85, 83, 86. But once we get to Thursday, we will hit those upper 80s. But you know what? Upper 80s? Those are not upper 90s. As for Redding, a high of 95 degrees for today, dropping into the 80s on Saturday, staying there on Sunday, and then Redding drops all the way into the mid 80s as well on Monday and Tuesday, but Redding does warm up back into the low 90s on Thursday. Cecile, back to you.
All right, thanks, Brian. Convicted of contracting without a license, how the location of the work changed the severity of this case. And a plane wrecks on the runway. What investigators had to say about this curious crash in Oroville. And people in the Carolinas are reeling after being hit by Hurricane Dorian. We've got to look at the damage on